Okay, hello. Sorry, I'm just sharing to social medias. Now, where's my chat? There we go. Alright, so I can see when anyone joins. Oops. Okay. Should pull some cards today. I haven't pulled any cards for a while. Hey sister, how are you? Okay. Oh, singing bowl, that's what I was gonna do. And I want to quickly post on Discord because I know that my bestie doesn't listen to me six. Not that he'll probably be awake, but anyway, just in case. Then he can't get upset with me. What time is it for you, Sister Blue? Okay, 6 o'clock p.m. Cool. Saturday night, yep. Gosh, time zones are a funny thing, aren't they? Okay, so how are you, Sister Blue? You didn't tell me how you are. So today I wanted to talk about the current astrology first. So what's actually triggering and hitting us at the moment, because it has been an intense few days with the astrology. So actually intense few weeks because of the eclipses, but we actually have a pretty intense transit happening now, or has been happening the last day or so. I'm good, thank you. I'm glad you're good. So let me bring up the chart. I'm trying to work out the best way to. If I move, if I have the chart here, then I can't see it. Oh, I can have chat separate. That's right. Aha. Okay, there we go. So now I can see the chart and I can still see chat. Sweet. So, okay, chat's disappeared now. Maybe I can make this smaller. Make this a bit bigger for me. Maybe if I put chat right. Actually, I usually have it there. I don't know. Hang on. I think my camera's in a different angle anyway. Too many things open. Where's it gone? Oh, there we go. Okay, oops. Let's just put it here. Oh, not there. OBS, you drive me nuts sometimes. Okay, sorry. Alright, so you can see my cursor. Alright, so I won't be in paint probably today because I want to work through the chart over the next week or two and what's happening, but I want to focus on today and what's been so far. So right now we have the moon up here in Libra. So it's important to follow the moon because the moon governs our emotional body, the waters in our body. The moon is changing signs every 2 to 2.5 days, and it rules our day-to-day lives, basically. Humanity's day-to-day lives is the moon, because it rules all of our different cycles and different things on the earth, and just the simple things as day and night. So, the moon now in Libra for the next 2 days is quite a nice placement for the moon. So the moon is in Venus's natural sign. So it's the moon and Venus, both feminine signs. So it's a nice energy for the moon to be there in Libra. So it's a time when the moon's in Libra that we are looking to find peace and balance and harmony within ourselves, because it's within our emotions and how we relate to others and within our relationships and partnerships. Libra is more of a social sign. It's an air sign, so it can be more chatty and social and talkative, and information and ideas going around in the air energy, and like wanting to share and talk about that, and get insight from other people and stuff like that. So it can be a time when we want to be more social or chatty, or be more relating to others and being in relationship with others, and all of that. That Libra moon energy too is it's the judge too. So it's a time when we can be more judging and discerning about how we're feeling and our emotions and what's going on inside of us as well. It's a sign of beauty as well. So it's when we can feel and see the beauty within things. So it's like in our environment, what's beautiful, or it can help us to beautify the energy more. So it can be a time when we feel like maybe having a nice, beautiful bath or something to like indulge and beautify ourselves, or, dressing up or something, or, they're going to say having a makeover or something like that. We can be in tune with that sort of energy during Libra moon. So Libra is the peacemaker as well. So it is a time when we aren't necessarily straightforward with our emotions and feelings. So it's the opposite sign of Aries, where we're direct and we say what we feel, and we don't worry about hurting others' feelings or what the reactions are going to be. We're just coming from a more selfish point of view, more individual point of view. Whereas when we're in a Libra energy, it's more about the other and how we're relating to the other and trying to keep the balance and peace and harmony with the other. But that Libra energy can be at the detriment of not speaking up and keeping the peace, sitting on the fence, not saying how they really feel, because they want to keep the other person happy and keep the peace and harmony and all that sort of thing. So we can be more aware of that. It can be illuminated with the moon there. Those sorts of feelings and emotions that are coming up within us, where we're not maybe speaking our truth and stuff like that too. But that moon is, let's have a look too, as the moon moves through for the next 2 days. So at 6 degrees, there's nothing really low at those degrees, I don't think, at the moment, because Jupiter moved back into Pisces, and that was at the lowest degrees of Aries. And then we'll have a nice, hang on, let me see, the moon. The moon will trine Saturn. The moon will trine Saturn probably over the next day to day and not over, but in about a day and a half. I just move that a day. 19, exactly a day. So in exactly a day, the moon will make a nice trine with Saturn, so that will help us to. Trines are opportunistic energy. It's beneficial because it's Jupiter, and Jupiter is a beneficent sign. It brings us harmony and ease, and brings good fortunate energy into our life, basically. But it can be missed opportunities if we get too lazy and relaxed and things like that. That's the thing with trines. So with that moon and Saturn energy, it's about getting it'll be a more serious feeling about our emotions and feelings, and that we'll get more serious and more committed. So there could be, with that trine, us feeling more committed to our relationships, feeling like we want to put more responsibility in, or we're able to be more in harmony with the responsibility that we have within relationships. And we're able to see the long-term benefits of the relationships and the relationship we're in. But it can also be beneficial maybe in the way of showing us where we're restricting ourselves emotionally within relationships, or holding ourselves back and being too rigid and stuff like that as well. It's an energy about people, and so it can also bring up aspects of I guess us trying to follow the rules and do the right thing, and be I don't know what the word I'm trying to get to. It's like be integrous within our relationships. That could be a word, I guess. Be in integrity within our relationships. And yeah, so that is a nice energy for commitment within relationships, and seeing where we can commit more, or where there's opportunities for committing more, possibly. So we'll also let me go back a day too. So we'll also have we have some nice semi-sextiles, aren't they? Yeah, so what else? Pluto, Saturn. Oh, wait, where am I? I've got Moon and Scorpio now. I went back too far. Where am I? Hang on. Whoa, I went forward too far. Whoa. I must have went forward instead of backwards. Hang on. Okay, there we are. The Moon's back here. Okay, so no, we do have some nice. Right now, we're having some nice sextiles. Sorry. So we're having some nice sextiles right now to the Moon from Mercury and Venus. So that can be some. So sextiles again are an easy energy. They are Venusian type energies when we're talking about sextiles. So they can be helpful. So it can bring helpful people when we're talking about sextiles. So I'm talking about Venus there. So people that are coming to help us to feel more confident, to feel more valuable possibly, or bring more valuable people into our life, or help, again, that's here to help us and all that. Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat. Hello, horse-drawn portrait. How are you? Nice to see you again. Hello, skate punk. I'm good, thanks. How are you? I hope you're well. What's new with you, horse-drawn portrait? Nothing much new with me. I've just been feeling this Neptune Mars square the last 2 days, but we'll get to that. So the Moon will also, over the next day, when it's in that trine with oh, that's true too. So that trine is actually helping that Mars, isn't it? That trine in sorry, the Moon with that trine to Saturn will also be making a trine to that Mars retrograde. It's helping us to take action within relationships. So it's an internal. So it's actually bringing probably more light to the surface, more opportunities for us to see where we need to take action in relationships, and also bringing up some opportunities for us to dig deeper and find out some more information, or to see where we've been scattering our energy to many places maybe, and where we need to commit our energy to just one person, one thing, one project, whatever it is. Basically, that Saturn trine, and with the moon, can be bringing that up through our day-to-day emotional body and how we're feeling. What is today? The 20th. Okay, 20th. Or 19th for you guys, probably on the other side of the world. So that trine, and like the moon's moving so fast, like I said, so we're only going to feel these energies for short amount of time, but it's short amounts of time, but short opportunities to for things to be really emotionally illuminated in our emotional body, or through reflection from other people as well. So that moon will oppose Chiron too, down here in Aries. So Chiron in Aries is all about us healing the wounds around our identity and who we are, and being an individual, and what we're desiring and wanting, and it's helping us to heal those wounds around identity, who we are, and allowing us to be able to be an individual and express that, and be courageous enough to express who we are. So that opposition with the moon is going to trigger some of those wounds coming up of where we want to be an individual and we want to be our unique individual self, but then where we also want to relate with others, and not be by ourselves. So it can bring up that balance of wanting to be an individual and do everything by yourself, and then the need to want to be with others and have help and partnership up and all of that. So it can bring up that balance where we need to maybe sometimes do things alone, but we also sometimes need to do things with other people. And it also brings up the energy of where you be in relationship or be in partnership with others, but stay an individual and not lose the self. So those sorts of wounds can be triggered where we can find where we've lost ourselves within relationships or with other people, and trigger us back to the energy of healing ourselves to get back in touch with who we are, so we can come into relationship with others as our true ourselves, in our identity of who we are, and merge with others, but not merge that we become like them and then lose ourselves and our identity. So those sorts of things can be triggered with that moon opposition to Chiron, which will start to feel like in the next probably 12 hours. We go a couple of hours. 9 degrees, 10 degrees. So we're exact it's 12 degrees, isn't it? Not quite 13 degrees. 12 degrees. We did get to 13 degrees, but then Chiron went retrograde. So 8:30 tonight for me. So like in 10 hours time. 10 hours time. We'll really feel that intensely. Let me go back. Where are we here? Okay, so that's a lot with the moon, and also those sextiles too. I didn't even finish talking about that because then I got distracted by Mars, didn't I? So at the moment, and this morning, the last few hours, we've had really nice sextiles to the moon from Mercury and Venus. So that's helping us to connect emotionally with others and with relationships, and to find some balance and peace and harmony, and to find some love. And because it's in that Sagittarius sign too, these have moved into Sag now, to find some love and passion within relationships, and even a sense of freedom possibly we're able to see within relationships, or we're being given some kind of freedom, or to tap into our emotions and to speak up about how we're feeling or something like that. There might be an opportunity within relationships or something that comes through there. And because it's in that sextile with Mercury, it's about conversations and speaking and communicating. So there can be something coming up there that is helpful and for relationships. Skate Punk, you didn't reply, and neither did you, Horse Drawn Portrait. I'm not sure if you're still here. How are you guys? Okay, so all right, so what has been going on the last few days, and I said we're at the charts right now, so it's still peaking right now. I mean, Mars is in retrograde, so Mars hasn't moved away from it. We haven't even exacted this yet. So we've got Mars down here in retrograde at 22 degrees, and we've got Neptune here in Pisces in retrograde at 22 degrees. So this is very tense. Oh, hi, sister. You're still here. So this is very tense transit that we're going through at the moment. So if I go back a day, 22:52, Mars was at... Oh, sorry, Mars... Yeah, that's right. So 23... so that was 18th. So the last 2 days, we really have been feeling this. It's been building up. And 22:52... we've got yesterday. I thought it was peaking yesterday. 22:52, and we've got Neptune at 22:42. And then, it's going back down. So it did peak yesterday, and where Mars is slowly pulling. It's confusing because they're both in retrograde and looking at degrees. So Mars is... You're at work listening. Oh, thanks, sister. You're working on a Saturday? Do you always work Saturdays? So Mars is pulling away from that square now. So that energy over the last day or two, and we're still going to be feeling now and over the next day. I mean, if we go forward another day on the chart, 22:18, we're still in that 22 degrees. So we're still going to be feeling it intensely over the next day, until Mars at least gets out of that 22 degrees. Look, another day, and it's only at 22 degrees in 0 minutes. So we do have another few days until Mars at least gets out of that 22 degrees, where it's in that exact degree energy with Neptune. So that's square. So squares are difficult energy. They are bring restrictions and delays, and they want us to detour and go another way. They are setbacks sometimes, because delays, setbacks, restrictions, all of that. Hard lessons, those sorts of things come up with squares. So they are to push us into action. So we have our trines and our sextiles, which are more helpful, opportunistic energies that are... We can miss opportunities too, because they're easy going and they are positive and feel good. Then we have these more difficult energies that don't always feel good, but they trigger us into action. They bring change into our life, and they push us further than what we would have gone if we didn't have them. So, and it always, although they can feel difficult and restrictive and delays and hard and all that at the time, it is often for our higher purpose, for our benefit later on, even though it feels difficult at the time, because they're malefic planets, so they're bringing up malefic energies. But it's not to just... It is for us to learn. It's all about lessons, learning and growing, but it's pushing us instead of us just having easy flow and just going into it and hoping we pick up the lesson and see it along the way and don't miss things. So should sit properly because I got a sore back last video. Like it was 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. I wasn't sitting properly. Okay, so oh, I need more water. I'm not even giving myself any. Oh, it was Skate Punk. You said you were at work listening. Oh, thank you, Skate Punk. I wasn't even reading properly. Your only day off is Monday. Oh, okay. So you work 6 days a week. Wow. I hope you enjoy your work. Okay, so oh yeah, so that's square. So it's so Mars wants to take action. Mars wants to initiate things. Mars wants to use that passionate fire energy to go after something, to courageously what's the word I'm looking for? Not like capture its prey, but like get what it wants, go after it, you know, sort of thing. So it's a warrior, it's a fighter, it will go after what it wants, but its energy can burn out fast, as we know can be with that Mars Aries fire energy, because it's a young energy too. So it's excited to like try new things. And when it's in Gemini, it's even more excited to try new things, because that Gemini energy is inquisitive. It's all about the mind and thoughts and information and learning and knowing more and finding out more. And so when Mars is in that Gemini energy, it can be focusing on too many things at once, or trying to focus on too many things at once, or go after too many things at once, or initiate too many things at once, commit to many things at once, or whatever. And there's too much information and too many plans and projects maybe, and things that are happening or whatever. So in that retrograde phase, Mars is helping us to get definitive about what we want to go after, what we want to put our time and energy into, what we actually desire, and like being able to then use that Gemini mind and thought process of being able to plan and communicate what we want and go forward with that. And the biggest thing of the transit of Mars retrograde in Gemini is mindset. So it's helping us to get our mindset right. So when Mars goes direct in March, we are focused and we know we have our plans straight and sorted, and we know what we want to go after, and we can put our full force of Mars fiery passionate energy into it and get it and go after it and achieve it. Did you say Chiron was entering Aries? No, Chiron is currently in Aries and will oppose the moon in the next few hours. Oh no, I said in 10 hours time, I think it was. So in 10 hours time, the moon will oppose Aries. But Chiron moved into 13 degrees of Aries, sorry I said, but then retrograded backwards. So now it's back in 12 degrees. So each degree that it's moving forward is healing a different part of our identity and a wound within us, within our identity, that is holding us back and from some way from being able to be that courageous, passionate, fiery Aries person and be driven and go after what we want and be able to achieve it. And the wounds around being an individual and feeling like we have to do everything alone. That's such an Aries, a first house Aries sort of things. That Chiron's helping us to heal those wounds too, that we don't have to do everything alone. We can still be an individual and be ourselves and bring that to the table, but we can all be individuals and come together and keep our individuality, but still be able to initiate and go after things and build things or whatever else. I was just thinking more about Mars. Like Mars wants to, I guess, dominate situations and dominate things and be the leader and all that. So it's like we can all be leaders and lead the way, but still do it. Don't have to do it as an individual and do it alone. So so then Neptune in Pisces in its retrograde is helping us to Neptune is all about dissolving boundaries. It's all about illusions. It's about dreams and creativity. It's about being able to envision things and to it's also a very spiritual sign, and it's like connecting into our spirituality and our higher self. Does Chiron move really slowly like a Chiron return? Yeah, Chiron. So your Chiron return is 52 years old. So 52 years old, you finish that Chiron transit, and that's when you come into usually your power of Chiron, where you've been wounded that many times that you've now either healed the wound or you are triggered into healing it profoundly so that you can then help others to heal their wounds. So it's when you step into that energy of being the wounded healer. So it's like you may have already been doing that healing work, or you're fully triggered into that action and will be triggered to do it then if you haven't already been doing it. But the Chiron transit in general is where we have wounds we carry through life, and they continue to get triggered until we work through and heal them. And it's usually when we're 52 years old that we're either pushed into that healing, or we're at that healing point and we start to realize that we need to become that teacher and help others to heal their wounds. And it's only those that have the same Chiron wounds as you that you can help, and likewise that can understand your wounds and be able to receive that help and be able to receive it, basically, because the Chiron wounds are individual to ourselves, especially as we've got Chiron in Aries, like the planet for the collective. But yeah, oh, that's your age. Okay, yep. So you'll be, like I said, either really feeling that as it gets closer to that exact Chiron return. So what is your Chiron in Aries? Then. So, well, I guess if you're 50 and it's still going to be, Chiron's still going to be in there for a long time, it must be. So, so it is. It's all about healing the wounds of your identity and who you are, and you being an individual and being able to stay an individual and be yourself, but then also be able to relate with others and be in partnership and relationships without losing yourself, and being able to express that identity and what you desire and what you want without being wounded or shamed for it or anything like that, and not feeling like you have to suppress yourself and who you are to please others and to keep the peace and stuff like that. So yeah, and that Pisces in Neptune, so looking at these energies together. Oh, thanks, Skate Punk, appreciate it. Sending you lots of love for your Chiron return, but it can be one of the most empowering things when we realize that we can heal those wounds, or we don't necessarily maybe ever fully always heal the wound. It's not like we just become one day we're like, oh, we're not wounded by it anymore. It's just that we're more empowered by it, and we understand it to help us help others. Basically, it's the wounded healer for a reason. Being wounded to then be able to grow through that and move through it, and then help others to move and grow through it. So Neptune in that Pisces is so, because it's that I just saw the word surrender on my, I've got some, for my EFT tapping, I've got some steps on my wall to remind me of the not the points, but key words to help with remembering the sequence of things and stuff. And one of the words is step 2 is about surrendering. And that's such a Pisces Neptune energy. It's very much about surrendering. Surrendering to the divine, to God's plan, to the universe's plan for you, to what you can't see, what we can't touch, like what we can't necessarily even feel. It's like on the astral plane, or on the it's not physically here. Like there's so much set up for us or anything. Oh god, there's YouTube bloody spam coming through. So like you guys on Twitch can't see. This is my restream thing. I don't even know how to play control this stuff. How do I do anything? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It's just on bloody YouTube. Where's my chat gone now? Come back. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so Neptune, that's Neptune's general energy. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so it's in its home sign. Jupiter is also a ruler of the traditional ruler of Pisces before Neptune was discovered. So in traditional astrology, Jupiter was the ruler. So they're both in the home sign of Neptune together, which can be really great and wonderful in many ways, but also can be not so great in other ways, because we can be more deceived, or we can be more deceiving of others. It's very much an energy of deception and illusion and not seeing things clearly, seeing things with rose-tinted, rose-colored glasses, seeing things better, or what they are, like idolizing things, and thinking that things are it's like can be you know, people that are can bring in people that are gurus, or especially Jupiter and Neptune together, people that are spiritual gurus that we think are wonderful and great, and they're putting on like an illusion, a deceptive performance. They're not that spiritual and great, but we may see them and we may praise to them and things like that, and think they're so wonderful and everything like that, but they're not necessarily there, deceiving or something in some way. So that can bring up that energy. And because we've already had this energy before of Jupiter and Neptune coming close together when Jupiter passed over Neptune originally, before it went into Aries, we will feel a little bit of that energy come back, where false gurus, that's the term I was trying to get to, false gurus, and yeah, I don't know if I should say that, but Sad, whatever his name is, that big guy that popped up on YouTube all of a sudden and went huge, and I always had a funny feeling about him. And then something is not right about him, and I don't know if that's just my Sag moon. I'm a skeptic, 8th house sun as well, if I'm skeptic in it, but whenever anything goes mainstream, I question it. So the agenda behind it, really, like, you know, a lot of us know that only specific things get to the mainstream. So that's the sort of thing that can. Oh, and why I said that is that because I've heard some shit a couple of months ago about him, like, that started to come out. So I was like, so he's not as great as what, you know, everybody thinks, which is like exactly this energy of the Pisces Jupiter, and both in retrograde together too, will be even more bringing that to the surface. So Neptune in its retrograde is helping us. So it's helping us to see where we've been deceived, and the illusions and all of that sort of stuff too, where we've been too lost in our dreams and not in reality, not grounded in reality, and off with the fairies and all that sort of stuff. But we're first going to be triggered before we and now that Mars energy too can come in, and definitely because that's where we can be getting triggered over the next 2 days of that. In that retrograde, it's like it happens even more intensely. It becomes even stronger, and we start to see the internal delusion of where we've been deluding ourselves, and us not seeing things clearly and all that. And it can even be like, I guess, because like it's not the person or the other outside influence that's done it, it's us. It's us and our, especially with that square, because this is the second square now we're having with this Mars and Neptune energy. There's 3 squares. This is the second one, and then in March when Mars down here Mars will come all the way back to like 8 degrees of Gemini down here, and we'll go back forward again as direct action and pass over this 22 degree point again in March. So so we're having another trigger of this in March, but this one is more intense because they're both in retrograde, and it's really like triggering those internal shadows to come up about all this stuff. And then when we have the final pass in March, because that Pisces energy too is all about healing, it'll be us able to heal and work through and pass the deception and the illusion and that, and see more clearly now as we come out of that transit, as Mars moves away from Neptune in March. We're coming out of that illusion, out of the rose-colored, rose-tinted glasses, us seeing things better or whatever for what they are, and we'll look back and be like, oh fuck, did we really, how did I think like that or see like that? Why was I even thinking that, or why was I even feeling that? Like, it doesn't make sense to me now, but in the time it did. But now it's like, oh, like that's weird. Why was I even feeling like that, or stuck in those emotions or feelings, or caught up in that, or whatever? So okay, so yes, so that's square too. So the square is going to be felt for another at least 2 days. We've been feeling it probably for the last day or two. It's Pisces, Neptune and Pisces too. So it's going to be, it's going to trigger the subconscious energies as well. So, and with that Mars, and because they're both in retrograde, so it's like our dreams and our dream state can be affected. We can feel more tired. We can feel more lost, like we're not feeling, we're like things we want to take action on and things we want to do, but we're feeling very out of balance and very like off with the fairies or off in dreamland, or we're finding ourselves, our minds wandering, and we're not able to stay focused and on what we're doing and what we want. And this is great for astrology, isn't it? Why am I doing astrology now? But anyway, I didn't come on last weekend, so I had to come on today. So yeah, so that can be and so whatever especially now, because this is the second play of it, the second round of this energy, and there's one more third final round to go. Whatever we're feeling now over this current few days with these energies triggering around, you know, our mind and mindset and our dreams and reality and what we want, what we desire, what we want to go after versus what's realistic and what's achievable and all that stuff coming up, then it's going to come up again in March. So whatever's going on now will come up again, and whatever's going on now already came up when they had their first square, which was, let's have a quick look. Oh, I've gone too far. It was only like a month and a half ago. Hang on. Mars at 15 degrees. Let's go days. It's very hard when you go a whole month. So Mars gets to 26 degrees and in retrograde. 27 degrees, I think it is. Oops, stop. I've gone too fast. 20 degrees. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, here we go. So 20. Oh wait, that's today. Wait, I've gone way too far. This, when it goes nuts by itself. Okay, hang on. Not while it's in retrograde. So Mars first made this square not in retrograde, when it was moving forward direct in Gemini, and then it went retrograde. And it's coming back over the point now. So back on the 8th of October. Sorry. The 8th of October, we were experiencing this energy then. It was in a direct motion, so it was more not as obvious, and it was more sort of the rug was being pulled over our eyes a lot more. Hello, Red Pursuit. How are you? And then yeah, so then now it's coming back over that energy. So if you remember anything from the 8th of October, it could be triggered. That's what could be triggering and coming up again around the mindset, the dreams, the reality, what we want, we desire, what we're going after, around our spirituality and what we're following and thinking and looking into in our mindset, and our what we're putting and ingesting day to day into our minds and our bodies, and all that stuff too will probably be coming up. And that can be conversations, people, media, places, health can be triggered, all of that, especially mental health, all of that sort of thing. What we're filling our cup with maybe can be coming up. Is it healthy? Is it good for us, for our minds and our mental state? So let's come back to today. Oh gosh, I just went monthly. See, this Neptune bloody Mars energy is not good. Okay, so what are we, 20th? Okay, so that's the current energies that we're experiencing today, tomorrow, and with that moon in Libra over the next 2 days. And the moon will also make a square in 2 days to that Pluto and Capricorn here. So we're going to feel that intensely too. Another square, another restriction, delay, a hard lesson, a false start, a that's more of, I guess, if it's included at Mars maybe. But and a need to have a deep retrospection around what we're committing to. Again, so it's coming up again what we said before about relationship, what we're committing our time and energy into with relationships, the goals that we have with relationships, and whether they're actually in alignment with us and on par with what we want to achieve, or whether there's something that's off balance and not quite right and not in harmony and peace. That can definitely be triggered. Some deep, dark feelings and emotions coming up around whether people are committed, whether there's a real commitment there, or whether people are showing up, and also whether we need to detour because it's not the right thing or the right situation or project or whatever, personal project, partnership, relationship, whatever it is. And some deep truths could come to the surface and be triggered, some truth, any kind of power struggles can come up to the surface with that too, around relationships and our future and goals and what we're wanting to work towards and achieve and build together, and whether that is truly in alignment or not, or whether there needs to be some kind of whether there would be a hard lesson that comes up, or whether there'd be some kind of restrictions, delays, or that, or a need to detour or do something different or go another way or commit in another way or something. And it brings up about integrity and doing the right thing and following the rules and what the right thing to do is. Especially when we're talking about the moon in Libra, it's about judgment and judging things and whether they are good or bad, or right or wrong, and things like that too. So yeah, and our self-worth and values can be triggered in a way too with that. Okay, so okay, so alright, so let's just have a quick look at what is coming up for the week. So we have, today's the 20th, so we have the sun currently at 27 degrees, so we've got a couple more days of the Scorpio sun, and then we'll move into a Sagittarius sun, which will lighten things up tremendously, because the sun is our vitality, our energy, what lights us up, what makes us happy, where we find life force, where we find joy and happiness. So wherever the sun is moving the sky is where we can tap into that, into our charts, and it becomes more highlighted and available to us. So wherever the sun in Sag is for you, Let's go forward. So on the 23rd or the 22nd of November, depending on where you are in the world, the sun will be in Sagittarius on the same day that the moon is in Scorpio, moving towards a new moon in Sagittarius. So that sun will then join Mercury and Venus there in Sagittarius. So we'll have the sun, we'll have the Venus and Mercury, which are never too far away from each other anyway, these energies. Only a couple of signs at the most, but we'll have those together in that Sagittarius energy. So we've gone from such heavy Scorpio season and Scorpio energy to all the intensity with the eclipses and everything going on. We'll then move into a nice pleasant energy of the Sagittarius energy. And especially once that new moon begins, then it's like the new moon cycle. We're moving away from Scorpio moon and we're moving into that new moon cycle of Sagittarius. So the Sagittarius energy will be manifesting for us now over the next 6 months, and bringing more lightness and more positivity and more passion and fire into our lives. So Sagittarius is the archer. It's shooting its arrow towards something. It's this it's the centaur, so it's half man, half horse, so it can connect with both realms of the human realm and also the animal realm and connect those energies together. So they can be very wise and they're seekers of information and understanding and knowing more. It's the philosophical sign, so it wants to explore and know more and delve into things and know how things work and why things are and all that in the world and all of that. So that's where we can find ourselves tapping into and looking into over the next 30 days with the sun there, and then also within our relationships, our conversations, our communications, our thoughts, and all of that too, with and our values with Venus and Mercury there. So Sag, that's what I was gonna say. Sag is the optimistic and positive sign because it's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter's down here in retrograde at the moment, the ruler of this energy, where all these planetary energies are, is in retrograde and it's getting closer to Neptune. So because it's in its home sign, at least it's in like a good position. It's that means that this energy is able to play out in a better interest and more favorable to us, where we're experiencing those positive energies of Sag. But being in Pisces, it'll bring out more of those energies of Sag that can be more where we can find Sag, like Pisces, can be a bit more of an escapism sign. It wants freedom, so it wants to escape and not be tied down and have its ability to move around and move its energy around and move its fire energy and do and try different things, or much like that opposite Gemini energy, it wants to explore and it wants to know more. So that's where we can feel more explorative ourselves. So it can be an internal exploration where we want to know more about ourselves or about our world and how it's affecting us and that, or it's the outer expansion and outer growth. So it's internal expansion, internal growth, where we want to grow ourselves, like we want to grow and we want to have growth, personal growth, and know ourselves more and explore more within, or it can be an outer where we want to know more about the world and explore more about the world to help us grow. And then also with that exploration energy of Sag, it can be about wanting to explore our outer world, so wanting to travel more and to go more places and to see more things and experience more things. It's an energy of wanting to explore and experience more, so other cultures, other people, other ways of being and doing things. Sagittarius can be very set in its beliefs and what it believes in that, but it's very much an open sign. Although it's set in its ways, it can be it can change its ways as well. Like its beliefs can be so strong, but then in a few years time they could have different beliefs in different beliefs. So it's just at the time, whatever they believe is their belief, but they are open to learning and knowing more and growing those beliefs at all times. It's just beliefs to them is a very important thing, and having beliefs and having strong ethics, that is very important energy with Sag, is having ethics. And that's one thing that the signs is like what they embody and are capable of isn't necessarily what they are. So a Sag person might be the most optimistic and positive sign and all that, but it doesn't mean that a Sag person is necessarily just naturally going to be optimistic and positive. It's something that they embody and they have to work towards to embrace so that they can be what their potential is to be optimistic and positive, but they have to become that sometimes and work through the negativity and shutting out the crap to be able to be that positive, optimistic self. Or they can find themselves being someone that is opposite and being more negative and judgmental and about situations and not optimistic and positive and happy and joyful. Hey, Hungry Soup, how are you? So, so when the sun in a few days, 23rd, 22nd November, depending where you are, joins that energy of Sag, we'll feel that lightness within our relationships, and as with our communication. We're already feeling that within our relationships and our communication. We could be either wanting more freedom or space within our relationships, or even our mind. We can feel like we don't want to be tied down by our negative thought patterns or negative beliefs or anything that's been holding us back from our personal growth. So that can come up with that Mercury and Sag. It's not its favorite sign to be in, a most comfortable place, Mercury and Sagittarius, because Mercury is its natural home sign is in Gemini, the opposite sign. So in Sagittarius, it's not as comfortable to speak in its thoughts and communicate freely in the way that it naturally would. It's more in the energy of that Sag, where Sagittarius is can be crude, not tact, says things without tact. So says things without thinking, things just come up. We just speak and say things, and they can come across quite harsh or quite not expected, or like not tactful, basically. So it's this definitely the sign, saying things without thinking, with that Mercury and Sag energy. And then it's also where we can have more energy to maybe think about how we can be more positive in our mindset and our thoughts and our communication. It's like, where are we being negative and not exuding that positivity of that Sag energy, that expansive energy too. It's like, where are we closing our minds too much, or our conversations with people where we're not opening up to explore and know more, instead of just thinking we know it all and we know everything, and we can't learn from others or anything like that. So that's the sort of thing that can come up too. So that Venus there, as I said, we'll find that we maybe want more space or freedom within our relationships. Sag doesn't, with that energy too, it doesn't mean that Sag can't be in a relationship and be with people. They definitely can. They just need that freedom for growth and exploration. And that's the thing, if they're in a relationship with someone who provides them a lot of growth, then they're not going to go anywhere. But if Sag is in a relationship where they feel stunted and their growth feels stunted and they're not expanding themselves, then that's when they're going to crave that freedom and want to go and self-sabotage and do things like that aren't necessarily in integrity. And that's one thing that Sag is learning, to be more in their integrity. Yeah. Do you know when Pluto enters Aquarius for good? Yes, I actually spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's at the end of 2023. Let me just have a quick look. So if we go forward, so we're on the 23rd, looking at the sun at 0 degrees, so we come back to that. So if we go forward, so end of 23, or was it end? No, maybe end of 24. Actually, it could be into 24, because it dips back in and out a couple of times. I think it was like February, maybe it was February 24 that it, hang on, let's have a quick look. So we've gone forward a year, and we've got Pluto at 28 degrees, and then another year, hang on, 20, yeah, November, so 20, yep, so it is, it's the end of November. So we go back, Oops. 23rd of November. October. Oh, could be at the end of October. Hang on. Let's have a 30th of October. 6th of November. There we go. Oh, exactly. There you go. Exactly 0 degrees. So 0 minutes. 0 degrees, 0 minutes. We have Pluto in Aquarius on the 20th of November 2024. So exactly 2 years today. How funny is that? An hour ago. No, 45 minutes or 50 minutes ago. Not even that. 45, 42 minutes. I don't know, whatever it is. 48 minutes ago or something. In exactly 2 years. So that's nuts. I mean, will there be a certain time where both Saturn and Pluto will stay conjuncted in Aquarius? I don't think so, because Saturn moves into Pisces. So yeah, Saturn's down here in Pisces. And Saturn goes into Pisces, isn't it? Oh, hang on, oh no, I'm on weeks now. Hang on. Let me go back. So 30th of October 2023. So there you go. So on the October the 30th, Saturn is in retrograde back into Aquarius. But Pluto, but Pluto isn't even there yet, so I don't think so. Let me go forward. Saturn's even in its retrograde. I don't think it's going to go back that far. Yeah. So right, where are we now? 2025. Okay, hang on. 2023, 22 we are in, aren't we? Okay, yeah. So 30, we're not quite 30th of November. So we're looking at the sun moving. Yep, here we go. Sun moving into Sag. Yeah, so the sun, yeah, so that's that Sagittarius energy. I think I've explained that quite a bit, what that Sag energy is all about. It's about us having a positive outlook on life, even though things can feel very heavy in these times and what we've been through. It's about finding that it's that time of year where we can tap into that positive energy and have more fun and play and joy and be excited and passionate about things. And it's this time of year is usually when people are partying and celebrating and that, because 2025 is the year of my Jupiter return. Okay. Mine's next year in March. Oh, no, sorry, it's not in March, but when Jupiter goes direct, it's going to be moving. Hang on, let me just have a quick look. Go to March. Whoa, 23rd of March, 23. Look at all those planets. There's just, everything's just piled there in bloody Taurus and Aries. Wow, that's nuts. It's like traffic jam over here in bloody Aries and Taurus. Wow. Twenty-third of March, 23, yeah. I can't wait for March. March is when a lot is going to change. Oh, thanks, Hungry Soup. I wish you many blessings for yours in 2025. It's only every 12 years that we get to experience our Jupiter return, so it is a special thing, and it can bring us a lot of good things into our life. But mine is... Wow, I'm just still in shock about that. Look at all that Aries and Taurus. That is crazy. So what do we have? We've got the sun there. We've got Mercury there. Chiron still, of course. Jupiter. 16 degrees. Yeah, so it is in March. My Jupiter is, I think, at 16 degrees. So there we go, in March. So I can't wait till March. And it's in my 7th house of partnerships, so that's exciting. That's in Placidus. If you're using whole sign, it would be 8th house of Other people's money, resources, banks, inheritances, insurances, trauma, healing, those sorts of things. So, astrology. I have an entire 11th stellium in Aquarius. I'm just waiting for March. Saturn has been a pain in the ass. Yeah, so it was Capricorn. I had to go through it for, 2020 and around then, and then Aquarius has had it really hard. So imagine that is chart. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. So how many planets do you have in Aquarius in Aquarius? You said a stellium, but how many is in that stellium? So, yeah, imagine this is a birth chart. Yeah, well, someone born around this time, not so. I mean, you've got Aries the ram and Taurus the bull. Those two energies, like, that's a lot. So we're going to be definitely taking action and going after things, going after what we value, what we want, what we desire with all that energy there in those two signs. Wow. And it's a very young energy. So we're going to be taking risks and just doing it and going after what we want and knowing we can materially manifest something if we put our energy and passion into it. So, look, we've still got the North Node there at 4 degrees. We've got the Moon there in Taurus. We'll have Venus in Taurus in her home, one of our home signs. That's beautiful. We'll still have Uranus there. We'll have Jupiter in Aries. Saturn's in that Pisces energy then, which I don't know how I feel about that completely. I mean, I'm glad it's getting out of Aquarius for all you Aquarians, and it's not that I have any Pisces placements. It's my 6th house, so I'll have to probably work bloody harder. But hopefully it's on spiritual topics, Pisces, which will be fine for me. But yeah, so I know it's like 6th house too. I know I have to work hard on my spirituality and on my health and well-being and stuff like that. That'll be a big thing when Saturn goes into Pisces for me. My routines and all that will be highlighted, will be important. I'll have a new sense of commitment by the time Saturn leaves my 6th house. I have Moon, Mars, Uranus, Neptune at very tight degrees. Also, my chart ruler Mars is there. Okay, yep. Moon, Mars, Uranus in its own sign. Moon, Mars, Uranus, Neptune. That's a very interesting combo, isn't it? None of those energies are connected or relate in any way, really. But you would make you very revolutionary, you'd be very either intelligent, smart, or able to connect the dots quite well and inventive in some way. Okay, so so back to the current chart. We want to go months. 23rd of Jan. Oh, we're in November, aren't we? Okay, so what else? Oh, that's right. Actually, what's the 20th? So, yeah. So today we actually have a trine with the Sun at 27 degrees and Jupiter at 28 degrees. Also a trine building. Sorry. So I'm on today, aren't I? Yeah. So it's building for tomorrow. So we'll have a nice trine over the next 2 days of the Sun and Jupiter, which is like amazing. Like a trine this is going to bring us opportunities for expansion and growth, some lucky energy around what makes us happy and what lights us up and where we find joy and it's an opportunity then to fully express ourselves too, because that sun is our expression. So it's going to bring up opportunities to fully express ourselves, to tap into our spirituality, to be able to shine that part of who we are, and be able to because it's in that Pisces energy too. It's like helping us to maybe bring our dreams and our creativity and expression to the forefront, so that there's opportunities for us to be creative, to express ourselves, to bring our dreams into the light, to be able to see where we can maybe like see our dreams manifesting or coming through in some way. I also have eighth house stellium in Scorpio. Oh, it's a strange combination of two opposing energies. Oh, wow. So you said 8th house stellium in Scorpio. Whoa. Eighth house energies I know all about. So yeah, they're, especially if you've got a stellium in 8th house in Scorpio, it's very intense. I think like that's one thing we have to, and I don't know, depending on whether you whole sign pluses or where your charts align and where you live in the world and all that, but I think that like when you think about things in some ways, yeah, it's hard when planets and things aren't aligned in their own signs and all that, but Aries rising I find is one of the hardest charts to deal with, because yeah, you've got everything in those houses. You're experiencing exactly what the astrology says, and not the energies aren't mixing. So it's like your first house is Aries, your second house is Taurus, your third house, so your 8th house is Scorpio, because it is the 8th sign. So it's like you experience that scorpionic energy like not like no one other, because if you've got a lot of 8th house placement someone else is, but you're going to whether you've got something in that sign or not, in that energy you're going to experience it like it is, because of the placements like that. So yeah, having Scorpio in the 8th house is intense. Having maybe Taurus, like me, Taurus in the 8th house, or having like Sagittarius or something like Pisces in the 8th house may not be as it won't have that as edge, that bite, the sting that Scorpio does. Again, unless you've got Pluto there or a lot of planets happening there or whatever, but just with nothing there even, you know, because it's telling the story of your life, these energies, and whether there's something there or not, it's still that area of your life that has a certain energy present there. So yeah, so Sun trine Jupiter is giving us more vitality and energy, more positive, fiery, and the Sun and that fiery energy coming together of Jupiter. But I guess in Pisces so it's more watery, but it's giving us that ability to be able to see how our dreams can come into reality in some way. Okay, so the Sun moving into Sag was what we were talking about before. And what else is going on? So we have all these planets have just moved into a new sign. We have Pluto still at the end degrees of Capricorn. And Saturn there. We've got Neptune and Jupiter. Jupiter's going back towards Neptune, but won't quite reach it. So what are these fast moving bodies going to be doing during the week to the build up of the new moon? So actually we spoke about that trine energy with the moon. That's right, with the moon and Mars and Saturn. But more to it is that Saturn, and that although the moon has gone because the moon is so fast moving, that Saturn and that Mars is still in that trine energy for a little while. So we've got Mars as of the 25th of November, which is 5 days away. Mars is at 21 degrees. So if we go forward a couple more days, we can see Mars retrograding back more towards that Saturn energy, where they'll exactly trine on the 28th of November, 27th, 28th, depending where you are. And Mars, our drive, our desire, our passions, what we're going after, what we want, in that trine energy, which is opportunities, and it's positive and brings help, ease, and it's beneficial and all of that. And it's with that Saturn and Aquarius, so it's like opportunities for maybe people to come in and help us in some way, or to connect with people in some way with that Mars energy. So it could be some, because we're talking about Gemini too, some kind of like planning or communications about our commitment, our goals, any of those sorts of things that are to do with other people, that are about the bigger, higher purpose, are about the future, those sorts of things. So we can maybe, you know, because it's in that retrograde too, something can be coming up where we're seeing where we can go another detour or go another, not where we're actually having to, but it's like where we want to detour and go another way, where we want to show up more, where we want to commit more, where we want to put our energy and drive towards, that is to do with other people and is to do with the bigger, higher picture. So it's going to be really good for where not illuminating, but for us in our minds to be able to connect the dots of where we can, you know, might be able to take action and have like long-term results, and be able to see the bigger picture and what we can fully commit to, and what is for the long haul, and where we're going to be able to progress and plan and put our energy and action into, and still stay in our integrity of ourselves and what we want, but while also connecting with other people and coming together. So that's good for the next few days to help us with, especially because of the Neptune square with Mars. So so that's the 28th. So that's the end of the week, basically, moving into the following week. We have that. So I think I've skipped over the new moon. So let's go back. So we have the new moon in Sag. So we talked about that Sag energy before. So all of that Sag energy applies again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is just the current chart of the current energies in the week and what's coming up and happening. It's intense. Everything is practically double whammy. Oh, in your chart. Yeah. Yeah, with Aries rising too. Yeah, so I should title it too from event chart to say current transits or something like that. So yeah, so the moon and sun coming together, when they come together, that's creation energy, new moon energy. So it's all about new opportunities, new beginnings, a fresh start, a refresh in some area of our lives, depending where Sagittarius is. So if you're a Sagittarius rising, then it's going to be in your first house. So it's all about who you are, your identity, what you're about, the way you present yourself, what you want, and your intentions for the world, basically, in a sense. So there's a new fresh start, a new beginning, new opportunity over the next 6 months in that area of your life. So then for if we go to Capricorn rising, that will then be in the 12th house. So the 12th house for Capricorn, for a new beginning, new opportunity, fresh, hang on, is that right? Capricorn, is it the second house? No, Scorpio would be 12th house, sorry. Hang on, let me just check. Sag, Capricorn, sorry, so we'll go this way. We'll go forward, backwards, before. So second house, sorry. So for Capricorn people, it's in the, no, is that right? 12th house. No, it is 12th house. I was right. Sorry, I'm losing myself now. No, hang on. Sagittarius rising, and if we have Capricorn, no, it is 12th house. Oh my god, it's so hard when you're not looking at it from the ascendant. I don't know why I do this to myself sometimes. Hey, Miss Random, how are you? I've been watching your Instagram posts. You're funny. Which house do you personally stick with? I like Placidus. I personally like Placidus. I mean, I feel that whole sign can be accurate too, and you can get some more information out of it. But I personally like Placidus because it is what it is. It's exact. It's not just like it. Once you start doing whole sign, it moves everything. So, yeah. I've personally always more connected with Placidus. And I don't know if that's because I'm in Australia and I'm on the other side, like bottom of the world or whatever it is, but and it's to do with the ecliptic and where it is and everything like that. So it's going to be a lot different. So if I lived in a different part of the world, maybe I wouldn't feel that way. I don't know, but yeah. Oh, thanks, Miss Random, for the sub. Appreciate it. I still need to do a reading for you. You still have any opportunity, anytime to book in a reading for free with me because I still owe you one. I'll never forget that. So, I hope you're well too, Miss Random. I don't know if I said that, but I've been watching your Instagram stories. So yeah, so for, wish I had like something to look at, like a wheel or something. I have that thing. I don't think that really helps though, because I'm looking at the chart. Okay, so this is this Neptune. This is exactly this Neptune bloody Mars energy. I can usually just fly through this without even thinking about it. So, all right, it's going to be 12th house. I know where I'm at now. I've got my, what's it? My, what's the word I'm thinking of? I can't see. This is terrible. This Mars Neptune energy. My directions, but that's not the word I'm thinking of. Whatever that bloody moon was really through me. It's probably the Neptune Pisces square, unless it's the Scorpio lunar eclipse you're talking about. Solar eclipse we just had, but that was very intense. So for Capricorn rising, it'll be the 12th house. So new beginnings, new opportunities, fresh start, refresh, and all that in the 12th house is around your mental state. It's around your connection to God, the universe, your higher self. It's it's where your hidden places. So it's also where we self-sabotage and where we go to retreat and to heal as well. So it could be an opportunity for healing, for relaxation and retreat. So it's like where we go to be alone and to surrender to God, the universe, or whatever it is. So there can be a new opportunity there, or with your mental state. It's also it could be a new fresh start with like your spirituality and your connection to God, universe, all that sort of thing. Then for Pisces rising, it'll be the 11th house then. So the 11th house, why am I going backwards? Anyway, the 11th house is friends, friendship groups, friendship circles. It's our social connections. It's our higher aspirations. It's our communities, groups, organizations, that sort of thing. Eclipse season had me going crazy. Oh, probably had a lot of people going crazy because it's Scorpio energy. Scorpio is all about intensity, and Scorpio is all about going deep, and also it's about that huge transformation and change that it brings. And it brings all the shit to the surface so that we can heal. Started hearing, seeing stuff seriously. Oh, whoa, maybe something's triggered in your chart and it's like, well, it could be that Neptune Mars, because Neptune and Pisces is all about the otherworldly things and our intuition and higher self and all that sort of stuff. So, ghost, paranormal shit, all that sort of stuff. That's 12th house, Neptune, Pisces stuff, other realms. Yeah, so then for Aquarius rising, it will be the 11th house. I just said that, didn't I? Yeah. It's 11th. I said 11th house, but okay. Then for Pisces, Aquarius, yeah. So for Pisces, it'll be the 10th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should have just did that originally. The 10th house of career, works, and new opportunities, new beginnings, refresh, fresh start. around your work, career, your legacy, your reputation, what you're building and working towards, your work, career, yeah, all that sort of stuff. For Aries rising, it will be the ninth house, and the ninth house is your beliefs, your ethics. It's about your philosophies, your higher education and learning. It's also about long distance travel and other cultures and other experiences, and also marriage too. So new opportunities, new beginnings, new fresh start, refresh in any of those areas of your life. Then for Taurus rising people, it will be in the 8th house, and the 8th house is all about transformation and change and healing. It's all about trauma. It's all about the death, birth, rebirth, transformation, all that stuff. It's things that are taboo, things that are of the occult. It's also other people's resources and money, banks, inheritances, insurances, taxes, loans, partner's money, those sorts of things. So any new beginnings in those sorts of areas of your life. Then for Gemini rising people, that means it will be in the 7th house. And opposite sign of Sagittarius is the 7th house, that's correct. So Sagittarius, for Gemini rising people, 7th house is new beginnings, new opportunities, refresh, restart within relationships, the way we relate to others, business partnerships, our relationships in general, one-on-one relationships. Like I see shadows around people's eyes sometimes now, and when I'm talking to people, I feel like what I'm picking up is their thoughts, maybe, or a bit sleep through. Oh, so you're seeing through. That's very Neptunian, being able to see through the illusions and see what people's true intent. But no, so that's Scorpio. Sorry, that's very Scorpio-like. So Scorpio energy is very much like you can see through the bullshit. You can see the truth. So someone might be saying something, but you're sensing something else, or someone's energy might be coming across a certain way, but you're like, oh, something's not right there. That's very Scorpionic. They're very good at sensing things and seeing through the truth and like knowing that something's not right. And that's where that investigation sign comes in of Scorpio, where it's not fully trusting and it's all about trust, and it's like it senses when things are off. Like people be smiling and laughing and I'll hear them thinking like, fuck this. Yeah, that's so Scorpio-like. Oh my gosh, I wonder if something in your chart something triggered in there. For sure. Oh my God, I need to look at your chart, Miss Random. And or something has triggered in your chart. Or something's moved into Scorpio for you, maybe even. Like it could be in your progress chart. Wow. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go. This is a lot. Yeah, nah. That's how Scorpio people go through life, feeling that all the time. Which is why they can, come across like standoffish and shit, but it's like they really know what's going on. They're just sort of assessing the situation sometimes. So yeah. Nuts. That's hilarious. It's like spilling water all over myself. That's okay. I've been avoiding people lately because I can really just hear they aren't good people thinking good thoughts. Yeah, that's very Scorpio-like. And like I said, it can be very hard and intense to deal with. Interesting. So for Cancer rising people. So for Cancer rising people, that means it will be in the 6th house. 7th, 6th house? Yeah, 6th house, which is all about your daily routines, what you do on a day-to-day basis, your health, your well-being, so your diet, your exercise, your health and well-being, so like your daily routine, how early you get up and go to bed, and what you do to start your day and finish your day, and what you do throughout the day, and your productivity and all that sort of stuff. It can also represent so fresh start, a refresh, a fresh start, a refresh, a new beginning, a new opportunity, somewhere in your life in these areas. And also it can represent co-workers and pets. So anything in those areas too can come up. And illness as well is a 6th house thing, but because it's to do with health and well-being, it can be illuminated. But a new refresh, new beginning, restart in those areas, which is good. For Leo rising, that means it'll be the fifth house. The fifth house is all about our love and play and creativity. It's about our passions. It's about our children and child stuff, our inner child. It's about love and romance. So our hobbies. So any of those sorts of things where new beginnings, refresh, restart, new opportunity, new beginning, all of that in that area. Hey Spellwork, how are you? Nice to see you. Is ascendant rising? Yeah, rising is ascendant. Yep. So the first house, the first area of your life. What is on here on the ecliptic, on the ascendant, rising, or is it on, the sign that is on the horizon when you were born? So you're a Libra rising. Oh, okay. Yep. I'm not at Libra rising yet, so that's good. I'm going backwards. So that's where it is for Leo risings. For them, for Virgo rising, it's in the fourth house of home, family, your heritage, your ancestry, also your home and your environment and your where you have a safe space, where you go to nurture and care for yourself and look after yourself. Those sorts of things with fourth house, where you mother yourself and care for yourself, those sorts of things. So new beginnings, new opportunities, any of that, your home, your family, any of those sorts of things. And around the mother or being a mother, those sorts of things too. And then for Libra rising, so for Libra rising, it will be the third house, and the third house is all about communication, speaking, communicating, writing, talking, all of those sorts of things, our thoughts and thought processes, our mindset. So a new beginning, refresh, restart, new opportunity, whatever it is coming in over the next 6 months in that area, with maybe your mind and mindset, the way you think, your thoughts, your planning, your processes, your local environment, your neighborhood, possibly with third house. Also, your siblings can be something there with siblings as well. It could be to do with marketing and media, those sorts of things, social media maybe even. Technology with cars, electronics, maybe with third house stuff, possibly. Anything like that could be coming up. And then for Scorpio rising, it will be in the second house of money and finances, our possessions, our self-worth, our confidence, our skills, our abilities, our possessions, I don't know if I said that, but our ability to support ourselves financially, to find stability, a new sense of stability. So our self-worth, confidence, our values, all that coming up for a new opportunity, new beginning, refresh, restart, around maybe the way you make money too, something like that, a new job, new opportunity for the way you use your skills to make money. And then for, that's it. Scorpio was last. And then it was back to first house, which is for Sagittarius rising, all about you and who you are and what you're about. So you could be, any Sag rising people could be going through a makeover themselves, or decide they want a new appearance, or to dress a different way, or change something about themselves, or the way that they are, the way they present themselves, the way they come across, anything like that over the next 6 months. Crazy to see you're in full summer outfit. Well, we just had a snow day today and it's freezing cold, and we don't heat as long as possible due to that Ukraine situation. Oh no, I'm sorry you're cold. I'm so hot. I'm like sweaty, I'm hot. We've got it's hot and I don't have the window open because it just rained, and if we leave the windows open then too much moisture gets in and we get mold. So I'm really hot at the moment, so I'm going to forward to, when I get off here, I'm going to cool off. But I do much prefer the heat than the cold. I don't do well in the cold. My circulation's not good. So yeah, yes, very interesting, Miss Random. So that's what the new moon in Sag will be bringing for us all, depending what your rising sign is, what area of life it's hitting, depending what planets. I mean, if you've got lots of planets in Sag, then it could be hitting something there for you. It is at 1 degree, so it's the start of Sag, or anything at the end degrees of Scorpio. If you've got anything in the mutable signs, you'll be affected then because it's Sagittarius. So anything in Sag, obviously, then anything in Pisces, anything in Virgo, anything in Gemini's opposite sign will be affected too, quite intensely. You'll be maybe forced or pushed into a new beginning or new opportunity if you've got those signs. Whereas if you're in the signs of the fire sign, so like Sagittarius, so Aries and Leo, then you'll be initiating the action and the new beginning, the new opportunity, the fresh start, through your own desires and fiery, passionate energy that wants to start something new or take on something new or whatever it is. So yeah, so that is the energies pretty much over the next few days, the next week. What else is actually happening? That's pretty much it, really. I think Sun entering Sag, and then the new moon. So I actually was thinking about it the other day. So at the time of the new moon too, we've got to look at the ruler, which I didn't even consider just then, but looking at the ruler of Jupiter too, it's still in retrograde. So I was hoping that it would have gone direct, but when does Jupiter go direct? Let's go forward a day. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so it's like Jupiter's not direct until December 2nd. Sorry, Jupiter comes out of its retrograde. Sorry, it's actually goes direct. Hang on. That's what I wanted to see. Not when it comes out of its retrograde. I'm not thinking. Bloody Saturn. I mean, bloody Neptune. Leave me alone. Okay. Where the fuck am I now? Sorry. Okay. 20th. All right. Back to the chart. Okay, so we've got Jupiter at 22 degrees. If we go forward one day, 41, it's still in retrograde. 40 minutes, 39 minutes, 39 minutes, 39, 39, 38, 38. 54 minutes. So it must go direct on 22. Hang on, 22. I'm looking at bloody Neptune. Hang on. This is so bad. There's too much going on down here. So here we go. Stations to go direct on the 24th. So in a few days. Okay, so on the 23rd, 24th, depending where you are. So it's so this new moon. Let's go back exactly. 1 degrees. 23:36. We go for another hour. 1 minute and 39 minutes. Okay, so the moon's passed over at 59 minutes. So when the moon is there, so is Jupiter stationing on the new moon? That's what I wanted to work out. It is. Wow. Okay, so wow, that's so powerful. Okay, so Jupiter, the ruler of this new moon, I had this feeling the other day. I was like, check when it's stationing. Oh my gosh. So Jupiter is the ruler of the new moon. The ruler is so important in astrology of an energy. It's cozy though. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're cozy. I think I'll be forced. Okay, yeah. It's usually the way for me, Miss Random. So, Jupiter being the ruler is stationing. So when a planet stations, it's the most powerful. Whether it's to go direct or to go into retrograde, is where it stops to change directions to either retrograde. But from Earth's point of view, a planet is not actually going backwards. It's just, it appears that way from Earth because of the way it's traveling and the distance it's getting. It's like appearing backwards, but it's not. So when Jupiter stationing direct is at its most powerful extreme in that Neptune energy. So it's where we can maybe, because it's a new moon, new opportunities, new beginnings, we can have a really lucky day on this new moon. So the 24th, 23rd, depending where you are. We can have see some really positive energy. So some a positive opportunity for new starts, for new beginnings, for refresh and all that, depending where they're hitting in your chart, as I said, and depending where that Pisces energy is for you too in your chart. So it's abundant, it's lucky, it's prosperous for over the next 6 months. Then this new moon energy, where we can have a lot of luck, abundance, and prosperity come through, expansion and growth in certain areas of our life. Can have blessings come through, miracles. It can be like miraculous energy with it being in Neptune. It's like things coming to manifestation, our dreams that we thought would just be dreams and not even be able to come true, sort of thing. Those sorts of things become more like available to us, or we can see the availability, like we can see the possibility, the positive energy of them. Like we can have an optimistic outlook about what could basically come through for us. So that is really quite positive. So it's going to be even more intense, that energy in Jupiter and Pisces. So it's like we just have to be careful of escapism and for not seeing things really clearly, and for not losing ourselves and not self-sabotaging because it seems too overwhelming, or it didn't seem possible. How can it be? Not trusting in the divine, that the universe is delivering us what we wanted, or what our dreams or our higher self told us, enabled us to be able to dream or envision or see, or something like that. And it could be even a day where we have really strong intuitive messages and visions and dreams come through as well. Like we might have some amazing dreams in this time that are able to help us to be able to see what we want to shoot our arrow towards. Especially if we had all that confusion of like the Neptune and the Mars and not being able to see the future clearly and what we want and all that, then this is going to be able to like help us to have some kind of vision or some kind of dream or some kind of idea or creative inspiration or some kind of divine intervention come through to help us in some way. So that is pretty cool that is happening then, like that we get a stationing Jupiter in Neptune on the same day as the new moon. That is quite unique and quite powerful. It's crazy how the astrology lines up sometimes. It's like hard to believe it myself. Yeah, that's nuts. And I had that thought the other day too. That's so funny. I was like, I wonder when Jupiter's going, like I know it's going direct soon, but I was like, I wonder when it's going direct. I wonder if it'll be when the new moon, because you think, as I said, because you think about the ruler, and I was thinking the ruler of the new moon, Jupiter, and will it still be direct? Retrograde. Wow. Amazing. And I'm a Jupiter sort of real person. It rules my moon. I'm a Sag moon. So this is a beautiful new moon for me because I'm a Sag moon. So I'm looking forward to an emotional new beginning because it's my emotions, my feelings, my internal self, and a new beginning, new opportunity there. And it's in the third house of my mind and mindset. So very much going to be to do with my mind and my thoughts and my thought processes and my thinking, and some kind of new beginning there for me, being in my moon and being in my third house, my environment. Yeah. I'll be 4. Is that the day of Thanksgiving? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know when Thanksgiving is. We don't celebrate that in Australia. So, maybe. The accuracy scares me sometimes. I know. It's just crazy how the things line up sometimes. It's like, what is this world we're living in? I mean, that's the Sag moon thing too. Constantly questioning, like, what reality are we living in? Like, it's just insane sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, so, yeah, nuts. I'm not going to look at any individual charts today. But if you do have any particular questions and you are a sub, hit me up in Discord and we can chat some more, like whether you want to do it publicly or just message me. But if you want to ask anything about the new moon or the current energies or whatever, just send me a message in Discord if you're a current sub, so I can give you guys something back more if you want to. And you know, Miss Random, you need to book in, follow my link and book in a reading with me sometime. But I'll never, that will never expire. So whenever you're ready, Miss Random, it could be in 5 years' time. I'm sure I'll still be doing astrology because I love it. I loved it as a kid, and I still love it as an adult. And astrology is something that you just learn for, like, you probably learn for lifetimes. It's like you never stop learning. There's never an ending to astrology. Like, you can just always learn something new, some new technique, some new ancient information, like some old text. Like, there's just always something. It's crazy. I've been so scared too. Yeah, it can be scary getting a reading because you're like going to be told stuff that you sometimes don't want to hear, maybe. And it's not bad stuff, but it's like stuff that you know that you should be doing or shouldn't be doing, or sometimes, you know, those sorts of things too. Or, you know, it's like you can feel, yeah, you can sense something and it's like, oh, yeah, I can feel that something is happening. It's been in the works for like 2 years now. It's hilarious. Oh gosh. Whenever you're ready, Miss Random. Yeah, so I hope that I've given you some good information today that's helped you understand the current energies and how they're affecting us. So, I mean, that's why astrology is so powerful, because it helps us understand the current energies, what's going on, why things are happening, and what is in it for us. Like, what, not in it for us, but like where we need to grow. What are the lessons we're supposed to be learning? What are we supposed to be focusing on? What are we supposed to be seeing or tuning into? Like, what is it that the universe or the stars or God or whoever is trying to help us see or tell us or whatever. So yeah, I did say I was going to do a card too. So maybe if you're here and you're a sub, I'll pull a quick card for you if you want one. So just comment if you'd like I've got my Spirit Science deck, my beautiful Spirit Science deck here. Beautiful cards, these ones. So if you want a card, let me know. For this Sag Moon, we'll say it's a message for this Sag Moon for any of my subs. Just comment. Yeah, so what a message for this new beginning, new opportunity, fresh start, refresh, whatever it is, basically. So, all right, Miss Random. Now, just let me cleanse these with some Reiki. I've been sitting stagnant for a little while. Let's just shuffle some energy and intention into it for this random for the new moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, I turned that, didn't I? Okay. So we've got a Jupiter ruled card, 6 of Wands, and it's Leo, and it's victory. So it's funny you were saying something's been building for the last 2 years, and now we've got a card about Jupiter, which is all about expansion and growth and abundance and positivity and all of that stuff. And it's a card of victory. Oh, I should probably show you the card, shouldn't I? Card of victory. That's the focus. It is. Card of victory. I mean, that's a pretty beautiful card. Look at all these people jumping around all happy and good vibes. So card of victory. 6 of Wands, so it's a 1 card too, so it's not necessarily a fighting energy. What does my wisdom wall say? So victory, stability, recognition, confidence, strength, satisfaction, triumph. And it's Leo, so it's all about expressing yourself, being bold, being confident. And that's where you're going to have expansion and growth and new beginnings, opportunities come through if you're confident, if you're If you find that inner strength, tap into that inner strength, that inner confidence, find your own inner stability, and you'll have victory. And that positive, tap into that positivity of Jupiter too, of expansion and growth and being open to opportunities and abundance. And then you'll have victory. Well, that's cool. That's a nice card to get. So that's, you know, that new moon energy is manifesting over the next 6 months. And where did we say it was happening for you? So Libra rising. Go back to the chart. Libra rising. That was 4th house of home, family. No, that's not 4th house. 3rd house. Sorry, 3rd house. 4th house is for the Virgo. 3rd house of third house. Hang on, what did I say? Was it 5th house? No, 5th house. Hang on. From Sag. Oh, hang on. Wait. We got a Sag new moon. So it's 3rd house. Sorry, it is 3rd house. Well, I should know that because I'm pretty much Libra rising, but late degree Virgo. So 3rd house of communication, speaking, communicating, writing, talking, our mind, our mindset, our thoughts, our thought processes, our neighborhood, our siblings, our local environment, our anything to do with advertising and media or marketing. That's 3rd house stuff as well. Our cars, our electronics. But it's very much around your thoughts and thought processes and mindset and thinking and communication and writing and speaking and all that sort of stuff. Anyone else here still that's hung around? Are you still here, Hungry Soup? Would you like a card? Yeah, the mindset stuff I know is my next hurdle for sure. It's like growing pains. Yeah, Sag is definitely a sign that experiences a lot of growing pains. So that Sag new moon will probably bring you some growing pains over the next 6 months then. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pull a card for everybody. Yes, okay, I'll do one for you first, Hungry Soup. So a card for Hungry Soup. Oh, you're playing spell work. What are you playing? I want to go play some games this afternoon. I'm going to go to lunch and then I want to play some PUBG or something later this afternoon. I haven't played games for ages and I mean, I probably have other things I need to do, but... Oh, Diablo 3, Okay, Hungry Soup. What do we have for you for the next 6 months for that Sagittarius New Moon? I feel like this is your card. Oh, repression. So where have you been repressing yourself? So where are you stopping yourself from having a new beginning, where abundance can come in, where you can have really positive energy come in, opportunities? Where are you not being compassionate with yourself? I didn't even show you the card, sorry. Where are you not being compassionate with yourself and loving and supportive and uplifting yourself and all that? Where are you repressing your own new beginning, possibly? So blocked feelings, so like you're blocking something or repressing your feelings or blocking something in some way. So yeah, you need to have more compassion with yourself and maybe speak your truth or something, or Ace of Cups can be new beginnings, but you're repressing yourself some way, which is stopping that. And it's to do with the emotions, and because watery too, so it's to do with your emotions and your feelings. Not sure, to be quite honest. Let's pull another card and see. I don't know if it's around love and like the divine love that you could have but you're stopping yourself from having, or maybe something around that possibly. Let's see. So Prince of Cups reversed, manipulative, and again it's in reverse of being expressing yourself. So it's where you're not quite expressing, you're repressing your blocked feelings, repression, and you're not expressing yourself. And manipulative, so are you not speaking your truth because you don't want to upset or hurt other people, which is being manipulative in a way because you're not expressing yourself? Or is someone manipulating you and then you're not able to express yourself and have true compassion for yourself because you're repressing and blocking your feelings because of the way that someone's making you feel or manipulating you, maybe? You've got 2 cup signs, so it's definitely about the feelings and the emotions and your internal self. These watery cards. Unrealistic, selfish, manipulative is what comes up on this card. Not sure what that means for you. Anyway, maybe sit with it over the next few days or over this new moon and see what comes up too. Because if we talk about like Sag and Sag energy too, and we're talking about the new moon, then you know, that Sag energy doesn't like to be repressed. It likes to have freedom and space to move and do what it needs to, but it also wants to be able to come back, and it does want that, you know, a sense of not so much stability, and it loves to be able to move around and all that, but it wants to be able to have growth, and growth doesn't come from growing nothing. You've got to have something that you're growing. Maybe I'm not opening myself to loved ones, repressing my emotions. Yeah, I'd say it's something like that, because it says repression, like and it said about your emotions and your feelings. So, repression, blocked feelings. Yeah, like maybe not speaking up about what you need, what you want, what's important for you. I don't like to open up. I tend to detach my emotions away. Oh, there you go. So maybe you need to, during this new moon or something over the next 6 months, you need to work at grow with that Jupiter Sag energy. Have compassion for yourself and speak up about your feelings and emotions and what you need. Okay, and we'll do one more card for the collective, for everybody, just for the Sag moon, just a general. Oops, one just jumped out. Here we go. Diligence, the sun in Virgo. So, oh, here we go. Sun in Virgo. So diligence. Gosh, my hair looks terrible in this humidity too. It's like so hot and so. 8 of discs. Diligence and sun in Virgo. So it's like making sure that we're looking after our health and our well-being and tending to like the day-to-day things we need to, like, but also looking after our health and our vitality by, you know, getting into nature and getting plenty of like sunshine and rest and retreat and filling our cup too. What do we have? So this is the 8 of discs. So diligence, wisdom, lovingly applied to matter, taking time, education, apprenticeship, effort, practical, judgment, prudence. Diligence. So doing what needs to be done, but also making sure that we're wisdom lovingly applied to matter. So doing things from wisdom, taking time. These are not very Sagittarius. I mean, wise things, Sagittarius, but taking time is not a Sag thing. They need to slow down, take time. Education, so it's very much about that growth. Apprenticeship, effort, practical judgment, prudence. Okay. Take what you want from that. But it's a card of 8 of abundance. It's very Jupiterian, this card too. Even it's the sun in Virgo, 8 of discs. Discs, pentacles, money, abundance. The sun is what makes us happy, brings us joy and vitality. There's a sun in this picture actually. And the Virgo energy of health and well-being. And being of service too. So, like I said, showing up and doing what we need to do. Maybe that's so that Sag energy can be a bit flaky too. Sagittarius energy where they can be late, not on time. They can commit to too many things, thinking they can achieve more than they actually can because of the optimism and positivity. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you everyone for chatting with me today, for being here and listening. Thanks to everyone that watches the replay. Hopefully I'll be on next weekend for talk about whatever's happening in next week astrology. Make sure you follow here on Twitch, follow on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram if you're on Instagram, because I do post like at least every couple of days on Instagram, so I'm more active on there when I'm not streaming live, I guess. You can find all my links everywhere basically. If you look to any of those, you can find a link to my bookings page to get a reading. If anyone wants to ever book a reading, you can book a one-on-one reading with me. And yeah, otherwise take care. Have an amazing new moon in Sagittarius. It's like the most optimistic and positive, one of the most optimistic and positive moons of the year, especially with one of the most optimistic and positive energies of the year, really, with everything we've been going through, and with the Jupiter that's going to be stationing direct in its home sign on the same day as the new moon. This next 6 months is going to bring us all some kind of abundance, some kind of growth and luck and opportunities in whatever area of our life that Sagittarius is falling into. So take care, talk to you soon, and have a great week. Bye.